For you classic survival horror fans, keep an eye on the upcoming release, Tormented Souls. Whereas other upcoming survival horror releases like Elisa harken more to the PS1 era of survival horror, and Conscript has a top-down perspective that won't look out of place on a Nintendo DS, Tormented Souls pulls heavy influence from the 6th generation of consoles. It harkens to the PS2 era of Silent Hill, the Gamecube Resident Evils, and other survival horror titles from that golden age of the genre. Hell, I love they give the warning at the beginning as well. Just little touches like that can go a long way in invoking that core of classic survival horror. Tormented Souls was recently featured on Steam Next Fest, and luckily it wasn't a timed demo, so you could go check it out now. The intro has a hell of a hook. We're playing as a young woman, Caroline Walker. She gets a letter from a hospital with a picture of twins. There's a foreboding note that's been haunting her for a few weeks. So she goes to examine this hospital where she gets the note from. She gets knocked out, and she wakes up in the filled bathtub, naked, with a tube connected to some decrepit medical equipment shoved down her throat. Oh, and one of her eyes has been removed. So yeah, that's one way of quickly grabbing the player's attention. It sure did for me. What the hell is going on here? As far as Caroline goes, the biggest issue I have so far with Tormented Souls, I've seen many others mention the same thing, is her fashion choices. She resembles a more subdued Final Fantasy character with her multiple belts and accessories. It does clash a bit with the overall look of this abandoned hospital. As far as her voice acting goes, it's that fine line of being fairly matter-of-fact and that cheesy voice acting of the early survival horror titles.
What? I'm sorry. I don't remember you. I certainly don't remember coming here before.
And she seems well versed in art history. Tormented Souls does have a mix of more traditional survival horror design with modern sensibilities. You could use the D-pad for tank controls, and the analog stick for a more modern approach to movement if that's your preference. It's a mix of fixed camera and dynamic camera angles, and I didn't have any issues with how they transitioned between the two. There doesn't appear to be any limited inventory or resource management or item boxes like Resident Evil, but hey, not every survival horror title needs it to be an engrossing experience. Tormented Souls looks to be quite puzzle heavy, what's been featured in the demo so far. There's the classic puzzle of getting the numbers to fall in the correct range by flipping multiple switches. There's this one puzzle with a key that seems to have stumped a number of players. In the good kind of way, not the how the hell was I supposed to do that logic. I am curious to see what the full game will have in regards to puzzles. The atmosphere of our environment is fantastic. It's an abandoned hospital after all. We'll piece together what's happening here with sparse notes. There's also a save room, and there's moments of safety where we run into a priest. The enemies that we come across in the demo have an unsettling look that takes heavy influence from Silent Hill, but isn't just an outright copy of it. One weapon that we get in the demo is a nailer gun, which does have a lot of kick to it. We could also move in between realities by stepping through mirrors, not unlike the other worlds in Silent Hill. It's just a short section of the demo, and I am curious to see how they will make use of it for the full game. And the demo had just the right length. First rule of show business, always leave them wanting more. And that's exactly how I felt. I was a bit disappointed that it was over, but I am looking forward to see what would happen next. So if you are a fan of classic survival horror, especially that PS2 era, give Tormented Souls a shot. You can currently get the demo on Steam. It's also going to be available on current consoles as well. It's set to release in 2021, but I guess we'll wait and see.